Hey, it's Adam Tracy, and wanted to talk about the Seychelles security dealer license. The best thing about this license is, right, that you can basically do anything under the sun with it. Equity, debt, Forex, CFD, crypto, right? Everything but crypto, basically, straight crypto. And outside of it being exceptionally broad, it is somewhat well received outside of offshore circles. And over the past few years, because I say at one point in the not too distant past, Shells was on a watch list, whatever the case may be. It's off now, so they've had to enhance what was once a much easier license to get, but it's still relatively easy and worth the time and investment. So what you're looking at is an application fee of roughly 5,000 US, right? Capital requirement is one of these malleable things, but you can expect 100,000, right, as a risk reserve, not blocked capital, right? Just sort of something pledged by a promoter or sitting in the company account. Yes, you need a Seychelles local entity with a local director in a local office. What's added to it is now that you need two individuals in the Seychelles that are associated with the company. The local director can count as one, but now you need another individual. Typically, what I recommend getting is somebody to act as a de facto chief compliance officer, because what they want to see is a bifurcation of the CEO and the CCO, and your local CCO doesn't necessarily have to do a great deal, which obviously lowers the cost, but that stand-in, and I usually rely on either an attorney or accountant associate of mine to offer that service to clients, suits the purpose, passes the fit and proper test, no problem. And then if you can find that duality where the local director is also the CCO or the like, it's perfect, absolutely perfect. So that's one of the challenges. On top of that, you have a ongoing license fee which varies based on activity. Typically, I say you're going to do everything, right? Don't mix and match. Get the full bore licensure, which allows you to engage everything because the cost difference isn't too much. And so that license fee on an ongoing basis is roughly 28,000 US. And for the breadth with which you can operate, that's actually a very, very good deal. On top of all that, you need someone to come licensed as a security dealer representative, right? So that is a concurrent licensing thing, and it's quite straightforward, quite simple actually. And you're basically just saying that you, as a de facto agent of the prospective securities dealer, will be in charge of and responsible for not only compliance but sales and things like that. And that could be anybody. It doesn't have to be local. It's really just a fit and proper test. It doesn't have a great quotient in terms of your ability or your past experience in financial services or anything like that, but it's something you just have to do. And so you've got another $750 application fee. You put both applications in side by side and you go from there. But at the end of the day, and in terms of process and timing, it's really like a 4.5 month thing. And it's not because, in my experience, the regulatory review is extensive or really even difficult. It's because it's just sort of slow, right? It's just sort of slow. So what can seem like an interminable process or that something's going wrong, it's not. It's just the way that it operates, right? And while coming out of the Seychelles time as being on the blacklist, you had limited access to really any tier 2 type payment institution or bank. That's really changing, right? And in addition to obviously anything that's in the Seychelles, you'll find a lot of PSPs out of Europe that will offer you services now that we're behind that phase. So all in all, and you'll see, if you kind of, and sometimes it's kind of hard to decipher, but a lot of, especially Forex, right? You see a lot of larger Forex brokers, especially ones that entertain large clients, a large clientele throughout Asia, even into Australia, will rely on the Seychelles license, and whether they get sub-licensed somewhere else, they don't need to, but sometimes they do. But it's really a great place for it. In addition, you see in a lot of parts of the developing nations in Africa, Forex is becoming, and CFDs and binaries, right, which is effectively gambling, are becoming really, really popular. And the Seychelles is a natural hub for that. And compared to trying to get Forex license in South Africa, which is just bribe after bribe, it's perfect, right? So obviously the U.S. has limits, but is it not, right? So that's the Seychelles security dealer license. And final statement, like the clearing firms, right? Which if you really wanted to get into a securities related business, it's getting a lot easier. So definitely check it out. If you have any questions, Adam at Tracy.io, and I'll talk to you next time. Cheers.